Hello, welcome to week 5. I'm going to take you through the Canvas course page and explain some of the important details about the week 5 lesson and assignment post. So when we scroll down to week 5, you will see in the module that you're going to be writing your resume and cover letter this week. In order to do that, you need to add on to your knowledge from last week when you learned about writing a resume to now learn about writing cover letters. So cover letters have a few purposes. One is that you're going to explain how you meet the job requirements using just one or two tasks or accomplishments that are on your resume. So you want to use the cover letter to draw that connection and explain in a few more words than you did in your resume how some specific skills and experiences make you a qualified candidate for this position. Another purpose of the cover letter is to just show that you know how to write within the professional standards that are expected of you. So if you have a cover letter that has a lot of mistakes, whether it's grammar, formatting, spelling, typos, anything like that, that can really hurt your chances for not getting called in for an interview, possibly despite the fact that you have good experience for the job, that you have the right kind of work and skills in your background, you might not get called in because your cover letter is hurting you more than helping you. And the last thing is that your cover letter is there to help identify which job you're applying for. So even though online you often apply directly to a job through the database that the company has set up, occasionally you might be emailing instead of doing that. And it's also just helpful for the reader to have right there in front of them, usually within the first sentence, you identifying which specific position, the name of the job, which is usually the title that you're applying for. And so the way that you communicate briefly in a cover letter is that you follow the design, the formatting that is expected. So that means having usually about 3 paragraphs. The first is a short introduction, and you're going to understand really just what the main 3 sentences are that you need to have in that introduction. Then you'll have 1, maybe 2 body paragraphs, which is where you're doing that work, where you identify a couple of things from your resume and explain that situation a bit more to help show how you did things, accomplished things that make you capable of taking on this job. And then you have the closing paragraph, which is when you briefly just thank them, remind them a little bit about why you're qualified, and then tell them that you hope for an interview. So what you're really practicing here, this is one of the sort of biggest assignments to start using your professional writing style so far this semester, is using precise language and not being vague. So this is going to carry on in your technical report, in your instructions manual, in your peer reviews, where you really need to start using precise, accurate, concrete language. Direct statements, all the things that we've been talking about up until this point, this is where you start to put that into action in the cover letter. So you're going to look at these examples of vague cover letters and then properly revised cover letter sentences. You're going to look at the student cover letter sample, which is fine. It's a little bit longer than what I would normally recommend, but sometimes that needs to happen in order to get the information across in the correct amount of detail. And then you're going to look at a checklist of writing habits that you want to avoid. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're formatting and styling your language in a way that is going to help you rather than hurt you. For this week, I do urge you to make an appointment, a synchronous appointment at the Writing Center, provide them with your job posting, provide them with a draft of your resume and cover letter so that they can talk you through not just grammar and spelling, but actual like active language, really incorporating the job posting and figuring out how to start elevating your writing style beyond just simply writing techniques like grammar. So for this week, by Thursday at 11 p.m., you're going to submit both your resume, your cover letter, and in addition to that, your job posting again. So you're going to attach to your post the PDF or Word document of your job posting. And then you're going to attach a Word document of your cover letter and resume. Those can be two separate Word documents. They can be in one Word document. That's fine, but it has to be a Word document. And then what you're going to do when you're writing your cover letter and resume is when you're incorporating some of those qualifications and skills that you looked into last week, you're going to let your peer and I know which words you incorporated by using the highlight tool to identify those. So for example, if the job posting indicates a preference for you knowing Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel, something like that, and you've got that now in your resume, you're going to use the highlight tool to let me know, let your peer know that that's why those particular words or phrases are in there. The same thing here, if it says something about leadership in the job posting and you have experience being a leader, then on your resume, when you write about that, you want to use the highlight tool for the word leading so that we know that that's why you're using that word. The same thing with your cover letter. You're going to want to work in those same kinds of words. They don't have to be the exact same words that are in your resume. This is an opportunity to work in more if possible, but you want to, again, use the highlight tool to identify to your peer and I which words you've incorporated. You're not going to reply to a peer this week. Next week, you're going to learn more about how to properly reply for technical writing and give people feedback. So for this week, you're writing those documents and identifying which words you've incorporated so that we know how well customized your resume and cover letter are to your job posting. As always, if you have any questions, please do post them in the week 1 questions about assignments discussion board. If it's something more specific to you, you can email me. You can use this link to set up an office hours appointment. You can drop in during my drop-in hour, or you can also email me to meet at a time that works better for you.